Like a round of applause for the bride and groom. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dan Gross. And as I walk around the room tonight, I see a lot of good men. And I see a lot of familiar faces. But there can only be one best man. I'm honored that Alex has bestowed that title upon me. And before I say a couple words about the bride and groom, I'd like to thank a couple people for all the hard work that's been put into this weekend. First, to Mr. and Mrs. Kunkel. The reception here has been gorgeous, and we definitely, Bar Harbor's been the perfect place to hold this ceremony, and thank you for having us up this weekend. Where are Mr. and Mrs. Fakidez? There they are. Stubbins was a blast last night, and the only thing better than a lobster dinner is a free lobster dinner. So thank you for picking that up last night. Lastly, to Jess and Alex, I don't know how many people were able to get up here a little earlier, but they did arrange for a boat ride, a sailboat ride around Frenchman's Bay on Thursday night, which was gorgeous. And thank you guys for putting that together. Alex, how are we doing? I was the first person Alex met, go figure, when he moved into New Canaan back in 7th grade in 1995 when we were playing Pop Warren together on the team that my father coached. And as a result, I was the first person to butcher Alex's last name. I would like to formally apologize to Mr. and Mrs. Fakidez that Alex has been referred to as Fulkaides the last 15 years of his life. But that was an honest mistake. The first time that we did meet, though, at practice, and most of our involvement back then in 7th grade on the football team, Alex, you could just tell right off the start, had a huge heart, was somebody that you could trust, and somebody that knew that was going to have my back, whether it was on the football field or off it. And it was never more evident than freshman year, algebra class. Might be a little shocking, but Alex had a little firmer grasp on the material than myself. And when we were walking in for the mid-year final exam, needless to say, he was a little more prepared than myself. So, what are you going to do? I walked in, I strategically placed myself on Alex's left flank. Down to the left, and got into my up periscope, my go-go gadget neck, and saw what I could see. The rest of the test. Didn't get a lot. Alex, could see that I was struggling. I was drowning, actually. And shimmied his paper over to the left on his arm side there and got a couple keys. Fast forward a week. We get called into Miss Fry's office. And this isn't Alex's forte. He was there for me during the test. His face was green now, and I knew that I was going to have to do some of the heavy lifting to make sure that the old boy didn't get in trouble for throwing me the phone. So, we come in, Miss Fry pulls out the 2 tests, puts them on the table. Alex, you got, I'd like to talk to you guys about your tests. Oh, okay. You got an 87. I look over and go, Alex, congrats, man. That's great. Pulls out the second test. Dan, you got an 87 as well. Oh. She goes, I go, that's amazing. She goes, what's even more amazing, Dan, is that you got all the same problems wrong, and you got them all wrong in the same manner. Can you explain this? It does not add up. It's not making sense. I go, well, Miss Ryan, it makes perfect sense. We studied together. It wouldn't be the first time that I put him in a hard spot in our friendship, and it won't be the last. But Alex definitely is a little more responsible than myself. He's always been the voice of reason amongst our friends from home, and somebody that probably might be a little more reserved, with the exception if you ever have caught Alex watching a Mets game on the tube. He's more of a lunatic there, screaming up at the screen, and that's where Jess comes in. She's the one that obviously has to deal with that more so than not. But I'd just like to say to Jess, I want to thank you. What's most important, obviously, to myself, and I feel anyone in the room, is that your closest friends and your family find happiness. And it was never more evident to me how happy and the joy that you brought into Alex's life when you guys started dating. I can remember sophomore year, I think, of college is when the friendship just tilted over into the next realm there. And Alex called me over, we were playing pool over at his house, and I'll never forget how proud he was to call you his girlfriend. And he's like, Gross, you gotta come up to F&M. My girlfriend, she's gorgeous, and I think she's smarter than me. And it really was, I could tell how special you meant to him. And to Alex, pal, you know, I love you to death, and I hold our friendship close to my heart, and I'm truly excited for you guys for tonight and the life that lies ahead of us. So cheers to Alex and Jess. Yeah.